Hey guys, Dolly here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a hopefully quick tutorial on how to dye your paper using food coloring. I posted about this on the Junk Journal Junkies chat group and had a lot of interest in how the process was done. So I'm here to show you. Basically, we have our food coloring. I just have the basic pack. I think it's between $3 to $4. And on the top there, I'm trying to get it closer. There we go. It gives you like some ratios so that you could mix color if you wanted. Like if you wanted to do purple or orange. The kit already comes with the green. I guess that's just for a lighter green. And then the red doesn't, depending on how many drops you mix, really comes out more like a pink on paper, not really red. So the other part of this I should mention is that if you are going to mix colors, you're going to want to use the formula for the egg dyeing, and that's because the paper is more similar to kind of like an eggshell, where there's going to be some absorption, but not as much as like a cake mix or icing. That it's a large batch and you're really trying to incorporate that color into the mixtures. So if you are going to mix colors, I recommend doing the egg dyeing. As for me, I did not really measure. I kind of eyeball stuff. I'm not really good with measurements. However, for the purpose of this video, I did go ahead and measure out. So basically, it's gonna be 20 drops of your dye plus half a cup of water. And that will give you about enough to dye a few pages. If you wanted more, then you would probably just keep adding that ratio. So if you added another half cup, then you add another 20 drops and so forth. Underneath the parchment is what I'm going to use in the microwave. But underneath the parchment, I have some saran wrap because the dye does get everywhere and there is staining, and I really don't want it to stain my countertops or myself either. So I would highly recommend you covering your work surface to protect it. And then we have our parchment. So I'm just gonna move the parchment to the side and maybe put the paper this way. So if you're getting this kind of water bottle, I got this at Dollar Tree. There is a spray. I don't think you guys can see it. Well, there's a spray setting and then there's a stream setting. I like to use the stream setting. And the reason for that being that with the stream setting, you're gonna have more pooling of the dye around the page, and wherever there's pooling, that's gonna create kind of like the really cool patterns that you see kind of like in watercolor. And then I do dry my pages in the microwave, and also that's because I want it to dry rapidly, so that those pools kind of soak in where they're pooling, and again creates more of a effect as opposed to just like a plain blue piece of paper. You'll have a lot of nice kind of marbling and that kind of stuff. So we'll get started here. I have my set on stream, and hopefully you guys can see all that. And we're just gonna start spraying just slightly at first because you don't want this to go everywhere. So as you can see how much pooling there is. And then I like to grab it and kind of turn it downwards to let that run down the page. And that's gonna create kind of drops on your saran. That way you can kind of lay it down on that saran wrap, kind of pat it in, and then spray your other side. Okay, and the color does dry lighter than what you're seeing. So if this is too blue for you, it's actually gonna come out to more like a lighter palish blue. So again, I'm gonna hold it up to kind of let it run down the page, and then I'm gonna put it on my parchment like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the microwave. So I'm gonna be out of frame for a little bit while I turn around to the microwave here. And the time that I figured works the best is 2.5 minutes. However, that could go to 3.5 minutes depending on how wet the paper was. So I like the saran wrap because, like, you can see this pooling here. I'm gonna set my next piece of paper right on top of that, and again kind of press down and kind of move it around on your second set or your other batches. The first one, obviously you're not going to do this because there's no ink yet on your surface area, but with your other batches, this dye will continue to pool underneath and you can use it and kind of sop up the excess. So just going to go ahead and spray. While my other one is drying away. You see how pretty that creates, kind of like a runoff. And then I'm going to spray the other side. And I'll just let it sit here while my other page is complete. Wash my hands a little bit because this kind of splattered back at me. The other part of that is you probably want to wear some kind of old clothes that you might use for painting or art. Because it will get everywhere, including your clothes. And actually, it's even gone just a tiny bit on my countertops. So I'll have to wipe that down. Okay, so this is what it looks like. See, it has a lot of cool patterns around where the water pooled. The side laying on the parchment is lighter, obviously, because the absorption of some of the color goes onto the parchment. You can go back and respray these, and I will show you how to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy into the microwave now. While that's cooking away, I'm gonna go ahead and take the paper that we just finished dyeing, and I'm gonna use what I have here to kind of darken up the back part. So again, just lay it down and kind of press it into your excess dye, and then flip it, and you're gonna see already the color is changing. What you're going to see when you do this layering effect is that the areas that were the darkest blue will be even darker, and then the areas lighter blue will be still lighter, but there will be more contrast than what you're currently seeing now. And then you can also spray it a little bit more. You kind of just have to play with it. I would spray the opposite way that I did before, create more contrast, and then just let it sit until your other piece is drying. Okay, so here's the other piece. There's a lot of detailing on this one. Again, it's kind of like you just kind of experiment with the spraying and the pooling. But however it's pooled on your paper when you microwave it, that's kind of like how it's gonna dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one more time through the microwave so you guys can see kind of like the layering effect. Now while that's cooking up, I should also mention that I'm doing these one at a time just so that you guys can kind of see the process. When I'm doing these, you know, just for myself, I throw a couple in there, probably like 3 or 4, and you're gonna have to bump up the heating time a little bit, probably to 3 to 3.5 minutes. But I would not go more than 4, just because in the microwave is such a tight space. And what you're gonna have is because it's happened to me. This is why I'm saying this. Your top papers will burn. No kidding, they will burn, and then your bottom papers will be like super wet. So you want to just kind of like a heating gun. You kind of want to just do a small batch at a time. Probably the max would be 4. Okay, so that's done. And this is it. There are still some wet areas, but look how beautiful that marbling is on that. So yeah, I'm gonna clean this up. So the best part about using saran wrap is just kind of peeling it away when you're done. If you're anti-plastic, then of course you could probably use like parchment or junk mail, but just keep in mind that with paper it does absorb it. It might go through if you don't have a thick enough layer. So anywho, here are my finished products. I really hope you guys have fun experimenting with this process. I'd really like to see if any of you try it. Comment down below if any of you try it, and post pictures on the chat group so I can see. If you found this video useful, then please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing also. I try to upload videos. I was trying every week, and that was kind of ambitious because, you know, life. But I do try to get videos up. I just haven't had as much time. I'm currently working on a Disney Princess junk journal, which I don't think I've posted anything on the chat group, but I might. I was hoping for it to be a present for someone, and there'll be more information about that hopefully soon. But other than that, I do have a Pinterest board on Disney if you're interested, and I can link that down below. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Bye!